So in our last class, we revised briefly about viruses, bacteria, and archaea. We are watching the video about different kind of viruses, archaea, and bacteria, and what is the role of them in the ecosystem. Bacteria, that there are many different kind of bacteria. Here in this picture, they told one bacteria which is on the skin, which is not that harmful, but like if example like staphylococcus, you don't have to memorize the names. If those kind of bacteria which are carried usually by some of the animals, they are harmful. But like bacteria in yogurt, milk, they are effective. They're good for your stomach. We have some different kind of bacteria in intestine which help for digestion. So even they are good bacteria. So overall, I just want to explain you that bacteria are mostly harmful, but there are few bacteria which have they are good for us. They're useful for us. Like example in yogurt and in our intestine. They speak about some kind of bacteria which are there in the mud or in the soil, which are not good for us again. That's why they say whenever you play and come back, try to wash. But of course, if your immunity is strong, you don't get affected.
Look, the Archaea is a domain made up of single-celled organisms. These organisms were only recently discovered in a sense. This is because their appearance under a microscope is so close to that of.
And you remember I told because of Archaea, some of the ponds and rivers, they have changed their color because Archaea, like example, some of the algae, those are Archaea, in the group of Archaea. When you go to beaches, you see the green color beach, but that's not exactly green color. That's just because of the color of the algae, it gave color to the beach. Now here they say, what is archaea? They have thin strands. Do you see here? They have thin strands. What is flagella? Flagella is something like hair-like structure that allows them to move, that allow even bacteria, they have some hair-like structures which allow them to move. So this archaean has 10 strands, 10 thread-like strands called as flagella that helps it to move.
Bacteria that Archaea were initially confused with bacteria. Click the images to learn more about Archaea. Archaea are interesting to observe because some types are very oddly shaped.
So they are in different shapes. Here, this archaean can be found in trash dumps and intestines since it needs very little oxygen. And what is difference between archaean and bacteria? Vatin, did you remember? Where do the archaea lives or archaeans? Where do they live?
In the water.
Only in the water, archaea. Even bacteria sometimes they live in water. What is the difference between them?
Because the archaea, when you live in the water, it's let the color of the water become blue.
Not exactly like it. Yeah, it happens. But the difference major between archaea, bacteria, and viruses, archaea can stay in harsh conditions, very harsh conditions. That is a very important point. I told you, even in the boiling water, it can stay. Even in the boiling area or in the very hot or very cold temperature, archaea can stay. But bacteria won't. Bacteria die. When you wash something with the hot water, bacteria die. That's why they boil milk. That's why they boil water, so that the bacteria die. But not same with the archaea. Archaea don't die with the hot water. Give me a second. Hello, yes, girls. Is the major difference of what is the major difference of bacteria and archaea? That archaea can live in extreme
The
conditions.
boiling.
Main point when I speak about archaea. Of course, there are different shape bacteria, also different shape.
So the archaea can live in a hot water, but the
Yes,
bacteria no.
boiling water. I cannot even say hot. It can stay, it can survive in boiling conditions too. But bacteria, they die. Bacteria, they don't stay in the hot condition. I mean, a hot condition, of course, they grow, but very hot. When I say very, that means it is extreme.
So extreme,
Some
like it's
archaea
mean
also
very.
survive in other harsh conditions, such as in
Yes, Watin?
Extremely mean very.
Yeah, extreme means very. Like example, in English, we say, she's extremely beautiful, yani, or I'm extremely sorry.
Very, very.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very sorry. That is, I'm extremely sorry. That's a very, it's a good word.
Yeah.
Some archaea also survive in other harsh conditions, such as in the very saline water in Utah's Great
Very saline water. I say saline water. That means it's very salty water. Usually, again, bacteria, they die in saline water. When you're, when you have cough, when you have bacterial infection, usually your mom say gargle with salt water. Did you ever did that? She says, yeah, put
Yeah.
water and do gargle.
So the bacteria can't live in the sea or in the ocean.
They live, but usually so many kind of bacteria they die. But archaea, they say they survive in very saline water in, like example, in Utah's Great Salt Lake. There is some Great Salt Lake which is much saltier than ocean. There is an ocean which is very salty than normal oceans, that is Utah's Great Salt Lake. We call it as a salt lake. So that's why they say even archaea, they survive there.
Salt Lake, which is much saltier than the ocean. As you know, there are three domains that organisms can be divided into: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Bacteria are a domain made up of unicellular prokaryotes that usually have cell walls and usually reproduce by cell division. Bacteria are an amazingly diverse group that can live in many different places. Click each image to learn more.
Now coming to bacteria, you know that bacteria are usually prokaryotes. When I say prokaryotes, what does that mean?
Bacteria.
A prokaryote,
Prokaryote one cell.
single cell, yes. They're usually sphere shaped.
Unlike archaea, bacteria come in three main shapes. This photograph shows sphere-shaped bacteria.
We have sphere shaped. When I say sphere shaped, they're like balls, they're like rods, they're like spiral. They have three shapes: sphere shaped, rod shaped, and spiral shaped.
Bacteria can
In the
Bacteria can be sorted into groups according to their shapes. This bacterium is rod-shaped. Look at the image of this bacterium.
Yes?
All of these are bacteria.
Yeah, they're all are bacteria, and there are different shapes of bacteria. Usually we can see bacteria in the microscope, not normally.
Yeah.
The spiral shape one is little thick one.
Look at the image of this bacterium. It shows a spiral shape. Even though different types of bacteria can have a common shape, some bacteria may be thicker or thinner and longer or shorter. This makes for much more diversity. Bacteria are single-cell organisms. They are prokaryotic, meaning that a bacterium does not have a nucleus. Instead, it has a single circular.
Now girls, tell me, when I say doesn't have a nucleus, where is the DNA in the prokaryotic cell?
In
Where is the
cytoplasm.
DNA? Yes, girls?
Cytoplasm.
Very good. It's in the cytoplasm. It has a single circular chromosome which is folded into a ball in the cytoplasm.
Chromosome, which is folded into a ball in the cytoplasm.
The chromosomes are folded here in the cytoplasm.
You know that bacteria are different from
Yesterday I told
archaea
you these hair-like structure. What are these called? These
What, miss?
structure. Do you see these hair-like structure coming out, which helps them to move? What are this called? Flagella. Remember, these are flagella which help bacteria to move. Even archaea has these flagella which helps them to move.
because bacteria have rigid cell walls that include a sugar amino acid layer. Bacteria also have different enzymes, and the DNA of archaea and bacteria differ considerably. Bacteria can be found in single cells or in pairs, but they are often found in groups or clusters. Bacteria can be found in a wide range of places, from the soil to water heaters to doorknobs. They can even be found in underwater volcanoes. E. coli.
You know that they are found
Miss, they can
everywhere.
find it in the volcanoes?
Underwater volcanoes. You know when volcanoes burst? Yes, that's what's underwater volcanoes. After they cool, because you know in the water they cool very quickly. And they are more wide. Like example, they're more than eukaryotes, they're more than archaea in number. They're everywhere on the doorknob, everywhere you find actually bacteria. They're more diverse. Very diverse means they're found very easily everywhere.
Coli live in your intestines.
So see, E. coli, they live in intestine, girls, but sometimes if the same E. coli is, it increase, or there are some other different bacteria that come into our intestine, which does not suit the intestine, not E. coli, the other one, that happens, then you have that stomach pain and then you have diarrhea. I mean, lose motions, you pass stool. That time, maybe something from your eating, something from food, from outside, your stomach is upset. Your stomach becomes upset.
Bacteria can be found in single cells or in pairs, but they are often found in groups or clusters. Bacteria can be found in a wide range of places, from the soil to water heaters to doorknobs. They can even be found in underwater volcanoes. E. coli live in your intestines.
That's it, girls. Enough.